we have another development I'd like to cover. This is from That Park Place. There's been a lot of drama. I was going back and forth with Eric July, actually, on X, talking about the Hollywood tariffs, and I said something criticizing free trade a little bit, and that didn't go over too well with the capitalist cloud. I respect them in a lot of ways, but I don't believe total free trade is necessarily the best option with everything because you tend to get taken advantage of,
It's the
especially by
giant
countries like China.
sucking sound. We could have free trade with like
Right,
Canada. You could have free trade with someone on your level.
right. So it's just not feasible for countries of disproportionate size. So talking about that, it says here Trump didn't cause the Hollywood global box office collapse. Hollywood did. People are already blaming President Trump on the preemptively before anything's even been put into law. They're saying Hollywood is going to collapse because of the actions of President Trump. Just like they're saying, oh, the prices of Xboxes have gone up because of Trump, the prices of the Switch 2, whatever. So preemptively, the libs all over the internet are saying this is Trump's fault when Hollywood collapses. It's not like they have decades of poor reputation behind them at this point. So, just quickly, we're not going to read this entire article, but this week, the Hollywood Reporter ran a smug editorial by Patrick Bruzeski, whatever, blaming President Trump for the film industry's diminishing appeal on the world stage. The argument was that the rise of Trump era foreign policy has made international audiences recoil from American heroes and, by extension, American movies. Let's be clear, this wasn't a market analysis, it was a political screed, a clumsy attempt to tie Hollywood's ongoing failures to a politician they already hate. Instead of looking inward, the author chose to project the industry's woes on a convenient scapegoat. So we're going to stop there for a minute. What do you guys think of this just constant blaming Orange Man bad when these movies like this, Captain America 4, Brave New World, um, bombing, all this, is this just more of the trope of Orange Man bad, everything's Trump's fault? Trump literally controls everything. It's all his fault. I think it's
Trump
typical of
is
him.
the only one trying to save Hollywood and keep it from moving to Georgia and Canada and the UK.
Yeah,
I
and
absolutely agree.
Canada and the UK love to spread the woke messaging, so it would actually be better to try to bring, not that we don't do it here, but it might be better if we can self-contain it somewhere.
Yeah, and it looks like I want to see more of what Trump had to do with the advisors he was having: Stallone, John Voight, and
No,
Mel Gibson going to Hollywood.
John Voight. It's just
John
John
Voight.
Voight. Yeah,
John
he
Voight.
just named ambassadors, and I'm not sure he told them they were going to be ambassadors. But John Voight actually decided to do something. So we'll just say John Voight is his Hollywood ambassador, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, still not a bad pick. He's pretty based in a lot of ways. I'm a fan of his in some things, but
I last thing I saw him in was Megalopolis, so it's a pretty bad taste in my mouth still from
okay.
that.
I saw the trailer for that and I immediately said no, thank you. So, but moving on from that, it says here, but the box office doesn't lie, and neither does audience fatigue. Hollywood's problem isn't America first; it's content last. So they want to blame America first, but when we know the reason we aren't going to see movies is because it's content last. They're not giving the fans what we want.
It's incompetent writing. That's what it
Exactly.
is.
It's
And
not good, and it's made by people who explicitly hate us.
Mm-hmm.
right. And it says here in his Hollywood Reporter editorial, Patrick, whatever I'm saying, Patrick argues that international audiences are turning away from American movies because of Donald Trump's foreign policy. Really, the audience is turning away from American movies. I'm going to repeat that because of Donald Trump's foreign policy. He claims Trump has damaged U.S. soft power by alienating allies, undermining democratic institutions, and cozying up to dictators. According to Brzezinski, whatever, this
Brzezinski?
this global disillusionment is now reflected in the box office, with audiences supposedly rejecting American heroes who once symbolized freedom and virtue.
They talk about like Trump living rent free in people's brains. Like Letitia James is about to go after him for like undervaluing his property in this dude's brain.
I know.
While she also is marrying her dad for
better loan terms. Yeah.
Wait, do
Yep.
we not even have that? Letitia actually, FBI actually looking into her ass, grand jury and everything.
Grand jury time. No one's
Yep.
above the law.
Bitch.
It's going to be very interesting to see how that progresses because that and also Elon Omar in Minnesota, but they do some weird stuff over in the Democrat
Deport.
Party. But yeah, but the article continues on Brzezinski cites falling favorability ratings of the U.S. in countries like Germany, Denmark suggest that Liberation Day tariffs are soaring global sentiment and points towards underperformance of Captain America: Brave New World as a reflection of this broader decline. He also floats the idea that major studios are self-censoring politically sensitive films, such as The Apprentice, out of fear of government retaliation, and closes by celebrating the rise of international content that distances itself from American cultural identity. I didn't see Captain America: Brave New World. Did anyone here see that movie, Black Captain America? Yeah, I know, Erwin, sadly.
You would have loved there's a little Jewish gremlin in it. You would have loved her, Isaac.
Oh, wow. Really? That's fantastic. I might have to see that clip. I need that.
I think she was tarded, too. Not like you tarded, like, I think actually tarded.
like tarded. Like, okay.
Like, she's like 4'6", so I think like her brain didn't fully develop or something. Her face.
So you're saying she was a banker from Harry Potter?
Respectfully.
Is what you're saying? Yeah.
Well, actually, no, she was, but then all the pro-Palestinian terrorist groups made it so Disney changed her to just being a random woman.
Interesting.
Oh, no, she ended up being like a Black Widow. That's what it was.
Oh, that's wonderful. It just makes me really want to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're
Just
looking
like
for your
Edward said.
elite mind-controlled assassin, I usually go for the 4'6" girl, yeah.
Yeah. You know, makes a lot of sense.
Brave New World is super woke, but then like I brought up Megalopolis, self-funded. He's all like, friends for a couple. Oh, it's my vision. No one had any control over me, and that thing was super woke too. And has Shia LaBeouf literally being like a Nazi character, where I think it was him or his supporters were literally wearing red MAGA hats, except it said like "Make New Rome Great Again" or whatever, because they called it New Rome. And at one point, Shia LaBeouf was standing on a tree trunk where a gigantic swastika was carved into the tree trunk. It was the most obvious and so even if it's not corporate and it's their own independent, it's woke as hell, and also lost a staggering amount of money like it deserved.
So they're not even subtle. They don't even try to hide their contempt anymore. They're just right there in your face. I'm glad I skipped that movie.
Yeah, but it's okay they lost all that money, Irvin, because that's the vision that he had. He wanted it to be artistic.
Yeah, just like the trailer, the vision he had for his trailer, he had to take off the internet after like 5 minutes when everyone was like, y'all lying, though.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I personally don't believe that President Trump is the reason Captain America: Brave New World bombed. I don't think that's the reason why. Personally, that's just me. Might be far fetched, but as it addresses,
I say to quote Jesse Lee Peterson, it's because he black.
Pretty
that's
much.
Why I failed.
Bucky should have been Captain America. I think we all agree on that for sure. So. It says here what's really going on in Hollywood. Captain America: Brave New World didn't underperform internationally because it has America in the title. It flopped because it's a lifeless, neutered franchise entry where the supposed hero stands for nothing but corporate virtue signaling and DEI checklists. So This is a perfect retaliation to that, and I think perfectly accurate in summing it up. That picture's a little bit cursed. It says this is the Nexus mod of Donald Trump as Captain America in Marvel Rivals. That's pretty cool. I didn't know too much about that. I'm assuming, was this mod ever pulled? Does anyone know? Is that still up there?
I want to say it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's why this clip exists, yeah.
Not overly shocking.
Oh, we don't let you have political people, but then everyone pulled up like the Joe Bidens and stuff.
Right. So they do this, and they also nuke all the mods that put male and female versus body type 1 and 2. So It's crazy. It says here Marvel isn't hemorrhaging interest because of Trump's foreign policy. It's tanking because its stories are lazy. Its protagonists are bait and switch gimmicks, and every script feels like a lecture written by a committee. Audiences around the globe are tuning out, not because they're mad about tariffs, but because movies just aren't that good anymore. So rest of the article is on thatparkplace.com if you guys want to check it out. I agree with this. What we read totally, it's not political, it's product failure. That's
Before
what
the election, they were begging for Trump to win in Hollywood because they needed his tax cuts. He'd also done thing in his previous term where they got to keep more money from the international box office and stuff like that. And also he did deregulation so they could do all their mergers because they're all failing, so they have to merge. And that's why Paramount and Skydance, they're like, yay! But then they had the CBS interview and that lawsuit. So I covered the articles. They're like, we desperately need Trump. But Kamala 2024.
That's
Straight
right.
to hell, guys.
Well, I mean, they're creatively bankrupt, and that goes on to the creatively bankrupt institutions and secondary learning facilities. These writers don't know how to write anymore. They have no imagination. They have no creativity anymore, and look where it's getting them.
Yeah, and
they
the
are
reason
absolutely creatively bankrupt.
the reason why you see so many, red hat analogies and swastikas and stuff like that in movies is because that's all they can think about, and those are the bad writers. We don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And remember,
Exactly.
the left can't meme.